be glorified in the name of Jesus. Can we be seated? God bless you. God bless you. Can we close our eyes? Everlasting King of glory, we want to bless you. We want to appreciate you this morning for the gift of life. We thank you for this day, the International Day of the Girl Child. We thank you for counting us worthy to be a female. Father, Lord, accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. We thank you for the all students of Regan Memorial Baptist Girls Secondary School. We thank you for all Reganites, home and abroad. Father, Lord, accept our thanks in Jesus' name. We thank you for granting us journey mercy to be here safe and sound. Father, Lord, accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. We thank you for the organizers. Lord, accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. I want to thank you for the special guest, Dr. Han, that is here, and for making it possible to be a reality. Father, Lord, accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. We thank all the students, staff, generally. Father, Lord, accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. We commit this program into your able hands. Father, Lord, start with us in the name of Jesus. This program, there won't be any sort of casualty in the name of Jesus. Thank you, King of Glory. You direct us aright. And at the end, we have full cause to glorify your name. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Quick welcome to Dr. Reganite. She's the oldest here. She finished 1971. So I'm going to ask all of you to please stand up and welcome Dr. Tutu Shole, one of the oldest here today. Thank you, ma'am. She brought in our guest speakers. She's the one helping us with this today. So please give her a warm welcome. A round of applause for Dr. Tutu Shole. Thank you so very much, ma. We're grateful. Thank you, ma. Up school. Okay, so I'd like to call the Roga president. Please sit down. I'd like to call the Roga president for our opening speech. Please, I would like all of you to listen attentively because you are going to be doing this someday. Mrs. Ayo Ogwade.
Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome Dr. Anna Bathan, my Reganite sisters who are all here to assist and have been assisting for God knows how long since we've been preparing this program. Our darling senior, I call her Senior Shole, senior prefects when we were there. Our seniors, no nonsense. First of all, I want to say something. I want to thank you, Regan girls. Today, you beat us to it. Normally, we are the ones here waiting for you. Today, you have been the ones waiting for us. Our apologies and our gratitude. I'm not going to take too much time because it seems to be quite a long and interesting program. So I'm not going to take too much time with a lot of words. Today seeks to highlight the diverse digital realities of the girl child, widen their paths of freedom to freedom and freedom of expression, joy and boundless potentials. It also aims to equip every Regan girl child with all she needs to become a wholesome, well-rounded Generation X, ladies. I just heard that, Generation X. Never heard of it before. And somebody told me what my generation is called. Never heard of that before. So this is interesting. So I want you all to sit down attentively and join the program. It's planned to be very, very interesting. And it's going to be interactive as well. So I'm going to hand over to Lady Reganite Edgar. Continue the program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you very much. I hope you all have your papers to take questions, okay? So we're going to be having a debate. We have some of our students that are taking debates this morning. Can we have them up to come and sit up here, please? Where are you girls? They will be talking about digitalization and equity in Nigeria. Please come up, come up, come up, sit down there. Just the two of you? Where are the others?
Oprah Winfrey once said, "Think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is a stepping stone to success." Good morning, principal, the vice principal, the representatives of ROGA, academic and non-academic staff, the panel of judges, the timekeeper, my co-debaters, and of course, the noble and ever-great Reganites. My name is Ikemifuna Wanita, and I am here to defend the motion which defines digitalization as a voice and not a threat to an equal future. Digitalization simply means technical revolution, and a voice in this context stands as explorable opportunities which both the boy and the girl child have. Now, back to the matter at hand. The girl child is mostly seen as weak, too emotional, and unable to withstand struggles. Unable to withstand struggles, they say. Isn't it a form of struggling to discover and invent so many great things and yet be given credit for none of it? Well, that is what women have faced over the past years and are still facing to this very day. Remember, the girl child is the backbone to this earth. The girl child is also seen as weak, and they may be seen as people who can't stand for themselves. Well, I would like to bring up two prominent women who made discoveries in their fields of work and are yet to be given credit. We have Jocelyn Bell Bonnell, who discovered pulsars while she was still a student of Cambridge University in 1967. We also have Esther Lederberg, who developed the replica plating method, a method used to easily transfer bacterial colonies from one petri dish to another. It also enabled scientists to understand antibacterial resistance. We need to give credits to these women. So, to the world of astronomy, I say, give credits to Jocelyn Bell Bonnell for discovering pulsars. And for biology students like me, who have been taught culturing method in our lessons, let us give thanks to Esther Lederberg for developing her replica plating method. Do you still think that the girl child cannot make it in the world of digitalization? If your answer is affirmative, I shall proceed to stop you there. In the world of digitalization, we have Ishakari, an 18-year-old girl child who invented a battery that can charge under 20 seconds and last 10 times longer than a standard battery. We also have Esther Bilgin, who discovered a way to use banana peels to create bioplastics. We have Stephanie Kolek, who invented Kevlar, the material we use for bulletproof vests. As of 2013, 7-year-old girl, Zora Bell, had the opportunity to create a mobile gaming app. And last but not the least, we have Dr. Shirley Jackson, who is the first black woman, I repeat, the first black woman to graduate with a PhD from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. And she is also the inventor of fiber optic cables, which we now use to access the digital world today. Don't we need more of females like this in the digital world, who are initiators, entrepreneurs, innovators, world changers, mavericks? Or should we pretend like we have enough? The girl child is capable of doing each and every single thing the boy child can do. And if you're trying to prove me wrong, I will also prove you wrong as well. With these 3 points of mine, I hope I've managed to convince you that digitalization is, of course, a voice and not a threat at all to an equal future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lie opportunities. The power of 5 men can never be compared to that of a woman. Still standing on the existing protocol, I, Bello Timitayo, come here supporting digitalization as a voice to an equal future. A girl child is an initiator, an innovator, a mentor, a motivator, a political leader, and even tomorrow's mother. Countries that tend to have females or the girl child as their leader tend to have huge economic development. Do you know that? Look at Germany, for example. Have you ever heard of Angela Merkel? She's the head of Germany, and she's moving Germany to a greater place. Germany is one of the most developed countries in the world. And we also talk about Rwanda. Women, 82.16% are actively leading women that are leading the labor force and leading the labor market in Rwanda. And I'd like to give instances of women who had a say, who had a stand in digitalization, in the digital world. We talk about Olga Gongoles. She invented the spacecraft batteries. And without that, what is space travel? We talk about Grace Hopper. She invented the Harvard Mark I computer, and that is not all. She also invented the compiler that translates written language to computer codes. Now, we all hear about the father of computer. Haven't you heard of the mother of computer, Ada Lovelace? Without her, the computer we have now will have no existence. She created the computer program. Now let's come to Nigeria. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She's the president of the World Bank. She competed against the boy child. She competed against men. She even competed against another woman. Can you see the power of women? And now, she's the president. I hope with these few points of mine, I'll be able to convince you that the girl child has a place in digitalization. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have the counter motion. Please come. We'll hear the other part of the debate.
According to Sophie Edwards, in 2017, women in India are being banned from using mobile phones because many think that it leads to adultery and it distracts them from their studies. A woman in Morocco was burned to death just for simply owning a mobile phone. Good day all, I am Omanufeme Ogenefego. And I'm a student of Regan Memorial Baptist Girls Secondary School in my final year. And I'm here to explain why digitalization is a threat to an equal future. Before we begin, let us explain some terms, shall we? Digitalization is the conversion of text or pictures in a digital form and is processed by a computer. Let's just say technology. Technology is applied science. A threat is something or someone likely to cause danger. So let's just switch the topic to make it easier for us to comprehend. Technology, likely to cause danger to a future where everyone is equal. An equal future is a place after the present time where everyone has the same rights, the same opportunities, where everyone is equal. Equity recognizes that everyone has different circumstances and therefore needs different opportunities, while equality is just saying that everyone should have the same rights and opportunities. The threat of digitalization is eating deep into the society, and if care is not taken, in time to come, women will be taken back to the kitchen where they were centuries ago. The inequalities women face start from when they were born and follows them throughout their lives. There are underlying issues that indicate that women cannot thrive in a digital society. It is not news that there is a traditional preference for male children than female children. Times ago in China, female children were killed just because of the one-child policy. And this is a society where digitalization is supposed to thrive for women? Come on, no. Over 20 million girls are being sold to men. Are child brides, 20 million girls in Nigeria under the age of 18 are being married out. This is the world where digitalization is supposed to thrive, where women are not even allowed to have a say in the world. This is the world where women are supposed to thrive in digitalization? No. Of all the illiterate people in the world, 2/3 of them are women. 1/4 of women from the age of 15 to 24 will not finish primary school. That is 58%. A world like this, how are women supposed to thrive? How is digitalization a voice to an equal future when we don't even have a say, when we cannot even finish primary school? Statistics from Tech Nations shows that 19% of women make up the tech force. That means the remaining 81% are men. How? No, tell me how. How can digitalization thrive for women in this society? I'd like to end with this quote by David Alejandro Fernhead. Life is a collaboration, not a competition. We are not supposed to compete, but collaborate for an equal future. So, my opponents are saying that it's a voice. I'd rather say it is not a voice, but a threat until these background issues are sorted out. Thank you for letting me share my points on this.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Please, let's have the next speaker.
I am an art student, and I'm very sure my fellow art students are very familiar with the literary text, Second Class Citizen by Buchi Emecheta. Now, Ada was black, and she was also a female. Hence, her first offense was that she was black, and secondly, she was a female. My name is Ntiadu Chamaka, and I'm just here to explain to you how digitalization is definitely not a voice, but a threat to an equal future. Now, our life experiences describe how we see things, says William James, an American philosopher and psychologist. So if the digital world is capturing and manipulating our attention, how much in control of our lives can we be? I'm sure we've all heard of Netflix, and if you've not heard of Netflix, you are probably living under a rock. I'm sure you've also seen these movies. King of Boys, the Return of the King, Enola Holmes, Money Heist, Never Have I Ever. But how many of you have heard of the social dilemma? Why? Because nobody is sharing a kiss or encouraging violence. Sad. The social dilemma is simply a documentary that explains to us how many social media companies capture our attention and sell that attention to the highest bidders. Because as the saying goes, if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. The fact that none of you have ever heard of the social dilemma doesn't even surprise me. Because you mostly see girls, or you hardly ever see girls or in anything relating to science and technology, much less programming. Before the commencement of the project-based ICT, I'm sure none of you had ever heard of Cinema 4D or Python. I'm also sure none of you know that C++ or JavaScript are programming languages. Wait, do you even know what a programming language is? Well, if it is the latest challenge on TikTok or the latest release by our favorite artist, we will know instantly. You mostly find girls on social media sites posting, commenting, liking on the latest news, such as the winner of the Big Brother Naija Season 6 or The Voice. Wait, don't get me wrong now. I'm not discriminating the digital world. I mean, most of us here have phones, seeing as the COVID-19 pandemic has forced our parents to get us mobile phones. But like I said earlier, hardly would you ever find girls on anything relating to technology, mostly social media. Hardly would you ever find girls on anything relating to social media. Now let us take for instance the TikTok challenge that surfaced not quite long ago, the silhouette challenge. This involved girls going naked on TikTok with the use of a red-colored filter to cover it up. This attracted the attention of billions of people across the globe. But come to think of it, when have you ever seen a fully clothed and decent girl grab the attention of the world just like the silhouette challenge did? If any of you can give me an instance, I'll gladly step off the stage. Obviously. Now, according to the Women's Technology Empowerment, Nigeria has a sizable gender gap. The Technology Center hardly employs females. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, women make up an average of 22% of the total number of technology and engineering graduates each year. Now, my opponents will tell me that if we give the female gender digitalization, it will make us equal with the boys. But that's just like telling me that because your father brought you and your brother an iPhone 13 Pro Max, you won't still be in the kitchen washing plates while your brother is watching TV. As far as I'm concerned, digitalization is very much a threat because it doesn't only promote chaos, it promotes mass loneliness. It promotes mass loneliness, encourages hacking and encroachment. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to discriminate the digital world because of course it has a lot of benefits. Even if I even try to pretend as if it doesn't, it has a lot of benefits. But that doesn't take away the harm or the damage caused by the disadvantages. How will we even say we want to take away the bad when it is the bad that is bringing in the money? So until a collective action is taken, I'm sorry to disappoint those of you in favor of the voice, but digitalization is still very much a threat. Thank you.
Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. Let's give them a round of applause. Well done, girls. Now I'm going to be calling two interrogators from each of the group that has spoken. So they will come up here and ask each other questions, okay? Ofodum Chiogo, please come up. And then Omojara De Mide, please come up. Ademide, please come.
How would girls thrive in a digital society when girls are not taught and allowed to use technology? When girls that have access to it misuse it and get harassed? When women are seen as weak and unable to handle it? When men use more educative apps compared to women? And when female IT personnel are underrepresented?
One of you have to answer her now. So please come. Who is answering this question?
Humiliation given to women just for using apps is due to illiteracy and ignorance. It is a common thing for men to think that women are weak, but are we to sit back and pretend like that knowledge is right? Are we also to pretend like they can use us any way they want, give us titles that are below our values, and look at them and wonder if they truly are right? We are not competing with the male gender. We are trying to collaborate with them to see common sense and give us that chance. In fact, we already have the chance. We already have women who have made it in the digital world. We are just trying to make them see that whatever they say about us, what they keep on saying, is in fact not right, but completely wrong. Thank you.
Being taken and sold to man old enough to be our fathers, to be our husbands. Please, I would like you to answer that.
You're getting it all wrong. I'm not saying that women should sit back. I'm saying that if the background issues are not sorted, women are going to remain at the back forever. So if the background issues are not sorted out, then there's nothing like digitalization for women. That's all I'm saying.
Secondly, you made a mistake when you were doing your debate. In the middle point, you were talking about men having more capacity in the digital world than women. But at the ending point, you were talking about collaboration. But in that aspect, you are opposing and supporting.
Of course, men have more capacity than women in technology. I'm not done yet. Of course, men have more capacity than women in technology. I mean, only 19% of women are engaged in the tech force. The remaining are 81%. I'm not saying that women should not sit back. I am saying that once we collaborate and women are added, then we can't even think of going towards an equal future. Unless this is not sorted out, we cannot even think of that.
We have 86.16% of women leading in the labor market. We have women who discovered and invented various types of things. We have Florence Palpat. She invented the electrical refrigerator. We have Edith Forbes. She invented the electric hot water heater. We have Mary Anderson. She invented the windshield wind wiper. We have Sarah Martha. She invented the submarine lamps and telescopes. So what are we saying here? As long as men have capacity in the digital world, then the female also have capacity in the digital world. We are trying to equalize it here. That is all what I'm saying.
We're talking about technology. You're mentioning the labor force. Withstanding that, women have created some things, but it doesn't stand to what men have created in the world, does it?
It stands because when you search on Google, search for women who didn't reach up to the standard of invention in their technology world.
Are you getting my point or not?
I
I'm
am.
saying women are not up to the capacity of men that created things in the world, and you're talking about that? Not at all. Women are not even up to where men are in the digital world.
We have father of all computers, and we also have mother of computers.
Wow. Can you give them a resounding round of applause? Wow. Trust me, women are making waves. We are making waves. Give me a shout. Are we making waves? Are we making waves? Okay, so the next item on our agenda is to have our speaker speak to us on digital equity and economic growth. And we're
we're going to be having Dr. Anna Bethune. Dr. Anna Bethune is a social impact strategist and international development expert, currently based in Lagos, Nigeria. She received her doctorate and master's degree from the School of Education and Social Policy at Northwestern University. Anna graduated from Stanford University with a bachelor's degree with honors in economics. I'm not hearing your clap, please. In 2015, she co-founded Brave Initiatives, a US-based nonprofit organization that teaches girls how to code and build technology for social impact. Anna is passionate about serving and elevating Black women in particular, and the African diaspora in general, to collectively rewrite our future. Please join me and welcome Dr. Anna Bethune. Can I hear your clap? I can hear your clap. Are we excited? You should be excited. Welcome, Dr.
Hello, hello. Hi, good morning. How are you? So, I was inspired to change it up a little bit since I walked in this morning. Inspired by your debate. So, I'm not from Nigeria, actually. I'm from Jamaica. And I've been here for about a year. And this is actually my second time visiting you all. I was here a couple months ago with Dr. With Dr. Tutu. And we visited the grounds and we saw where you took your classes, we met your principal, and I really, really enjoyed spending a few moments with you all. And today I just want to have a really quick conversation with you about your future and the role that technology could play. I know you were debating, whether or not digitalization will move women forward, right? Whether it harms or whether it helps. And I'm not going to pick up that debate. I think I'll leave it to you all to judge. But I do think that we need to think about the communities that we want to build for ourselves and for our families. And I want you to think about your role in that, right? The fact that we come here and we invest in you is important. Your education is important, and what you do with that education is very important. Last week was International Teachers Day. I hope you celebrated your teachers. You did, didn't you? Good. And on that day, I reflected on the role that education played in my life because I grew up in a family of teachers. And I really thought about how my education played a role in my journey and how it brought me to Nigeria. I don't really have any family connections to Nigeria, but I am making a family with everyone I've met so far here, with all of you, as I stand here. So we know that the issues that we face are real. One of our speakers mentioned, children being sold. We know about food scarcity. We know about insecurity, right? We know about poverty. These are issues that are real in this world. The question that I want to ask you is, what role do you play in solving that? And how might you think of technology as a tool, right? How do you think about using technology to change your world? So I'm going to walk around a little bit. I've been instructed not to move too much, so I'm just going to walk directly. I'm going to ask my new friends, some questions. How do you think about using technology How do you think about using technology to solve problems in your community?
We can use technology to solve, like, the freezer. We use technology to keep food that is still left over. That is how we use technology to solve food.
So she's onto something, right? Think back decades ago when you didn't have the freezer and food went bad. It actually created food shortages. People weren't able to preserve their food using that technology. They had to use salt. We still use salt in some ways, but we do use the freezer. And that could actually solve a major problem, which is food insecurity. Okay, who else wants to answer that question? How can we use technology to solve a social impact issue?
We use technology to research on different things about the world. And we also use technology for social media to browse and to know more about the world.
So that's also an excellent point. Give her a round of applause. So what she's pointing out is technology has made information a lot more accessible. We can learn about other cultures, other countries, other people, just by turning on our computer. And that's very important because that can also change the world. One more.
Use technology for most of the things we do.
Can't hear you.
Use technology for most of the things we do. Like, without technology, we wouldn't have gas cookers to cook our food. If not, we'll be using stoves and firewood.
Awesome. Another very, very good point. So I wanted to share a story with you about a woman named Layla Jana. Layla Jana started a company called Sama, formerly known as Sama Source. And she was really, really passionate about helping people move above the poverty line. So the idea was that poor people don't need handouts, they don't need cash grants, they need work. And there's dignity in work. In so many cases, we have people who don't have this wonderful education that you have. They don't necessarily know how to read, and they wouldn't be able to get connected to the internet. So what she did is she started a company that trained people in computer science skills. And then she connected those people with job opportunities all over the world. So she got clients like Google, like IBM, like Microsoft, big companies that needed tasks done at a lower cost. And so what that meant is that every person that she trained got an opportunity to work for these international companies by doing tasks that they were trained to do. And that meant these people had now a living wage, that they could feed themselves, that they could feed their families, that they could send their children to school. And everyone who worked at Sama Source also got benefits. So they got health insurance, they could now go to the hospital. That means that what she did, this company that she created, changed the lives of everyone who worked within that company. And she used technology as that tool to solve a problem. Do you understand what I mean? So the reason why I'm putting this example out for you is because we need to think of technology as a way. Think about the problems that you're experiencing in your life and how you want to change them. And the reason why this is so important for you to grasp today is because it's not only that you are the future, you are the future. You are young women. And we know from studies that have shown that women are key to community development. It is women, not the men, who make sure that their children are fed, that their children see nurses, that their children go to school. Not men, it is women, by and large. Now, I know some man is going to find me at the back of the church and ask me, but I take care of my family. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying, generally speaking, women change the world. Okay? Now, I want you all at the end of this day to look into Leila Jana and Samma's source, right? She died. She died last year at a young age of just 37 from a rare form of cancer. But her legacy lives on. She has worked with over 11,000 people in her short life. And she has had such an impact on everyone because she knew which problem she wanted to solve. She wanted to give people an opportunity, and she wanted to do it with dignity, and she used technology as her source. So this community that you're in of your high school friends, your female high school friends, remember that you are the people who will change the world. And you need to make sure that you encourage each other, that you check in with each other, and that you support one another. This will be some of the most important years in your life. They will form your future. So be very, very careful about how you want to use your energy, your spirit, and your soul, how you want to pour that back into your community, using the skills and education that you got here. Okay? Is that a deal? Yes? Yes? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ann. Thank you so much. That was quite enlightening. Now we have questions and answers. I'm sure you have a question or two to ask. There's one of your schoolmates with a paper and a biro. Please try and write your questions now. Let me have them. We need to ask her one or two questions, please. Where are the questions? Okay, who has a question to ask? Can I come down? Any other question, please?
And if you're too shy to ask now, you can always catch me after. No problem.
There's a question here. He performed through young girls below 16.
Can digitalization be performed through young girls below 16 years? And can it make us rich? So, I mean, I believe that you are capable of doing whatever you want at any age, right? 16 is just an arbitrary number that we put out there to determine whether or not someone is mature enough to do something. You can't hear. You can't hear? Oh, I was speaking too quickly. Sorry. For me, in my opinion, 16 is an arbitrary number that we put out there to say that someone is mature enough to do something. In terms of education, you can do it at any age. You can learn to code, you can start your own company, you can change the world, you can build rockets, you can do it at any age with any gender, girls and boys. That's what I believe. Yes, it can make you rich. So, for example, I don't know what the salary is here in Nigeria, but in the States, if you leave Silicon Valley with a CS degree, you're making over 6 figures, over 100,000 US a year. You can look that up and convert that into Naira. Multiply by 500. So, I don't know if that is the definition of rich for you. It's not the definition of rich for me. But you have to think about what's important to you. You can start a company and you can make millions off of that as well. It could be in the technology space, it could be beyond. But I would say for the person who wrote the question, think about your motivation beyond wealth. Wealth comes and goes. You can make a lot of money and you can lose it, right? And it's important to have some amount of money so that you can keep yourself stable and your family stable, but that shouldn't be your main motivating factor. Think about the impact that you want to have because that is long-lasting.
Thank you, Ma. There's another question about Mrs. Lena. After she died, did she leave anything, an organization to continue her work? And at what age did she start?
Okay, so she died at 37. I can't say exactly when she started, but I know Sama Source was founded in 2008. Leila Jana went to, I think it was California School of Mathematics and then went on to Harvard. She has left, so she died and her organizations, her companies are still running. The company is called Sama, and it has offices all over the world. She actually also started a luxury skincare brand called Luxme. And what's really interesting about that business model is that all of the really organic materials that they use to create these like facials and cleansers, they're all sourced in these different countries where she works. And the money goes back to the people who are actually finding those materials to create these high-end luxury skincare goods. So Luxme is also still running, and so is Sama. But you can definitely check it out and see essentially what her legacy has been and will continue to be.
Thank you, Ma. Just one more question, Ma. Why are girls usually discriminated when it comes to technology, in your opinion?
I think it's historical. We weren't given the right to vote. At first, we weren't given the right to attend schools because the expectation was that we would be in the home taking care of the family. So I think gender discrimination, as similar to racial discrimination, is historical. The information technology sector has grown in the last 50 or 70 or so years, and that it started at a time when women really weren't given the opportunity to be as well educated as men, right? So it's almost like they had a jump start. I think we're now in a place where, people walk around with a hidden bias. It's almost expected that if a computer scientist walks into the room and you don't say the name or the gender, that you would expect that it's a man. But things are changing now. Large CS companies have HR policies that make sure, HR as in human resource policies, that make sure that people are really looking for female engineers and women in the technology space. So I wouldn't be surprised if about a few decades from now that we'd have more parity in that sector.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Grateful. There's a question about why we girls can have toilets that are digital and all that.
Why can't we have a digital toilet?
Yes.
Why can't we have a digital toilet? We can have, who wants to build it? Who asked that question? Build the digital toilet now. You can build it. There's no reason why we can't.
They're feeling they're too young, so like.
You're not too young. You're not too young. There are so many examples of people who have gone out to do amazing things at very, very young ages. You can do it now. Follow your passion and build the digital toilet. I'm here for it. Let me know when it's done.
Thank you very much. We're grateful. That's all. Thank you so much. We're grateful. Now it's time for Speak and Span.
Okay, so it's a new thing now, and I want you to just be expectant because something new is going to happen now. It's called Speak and Span. So I'm going to invite my president, the president of Regan, for the speak and span session.
Thank you. We thought we should introduce something new and something interesting, apart from the normal speeches. So first of all, I want to ask you all in here, and I want one person to answer me. Every time an old student comes into school, what's the first thing they complain about? One person. Can somebody tell me what we normally complain about when we come into school? One person stand up. Did I see a hand? What did you say?
The way the people are dressed and the way the school is looking.
Well, that's a good answer. You're not there yet. I want a specific answer. Another hand up, come on.
Our collar and our belts.
Pardon?
Our collar and our belts.
I can't hear you. Your collar and your belts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to show me your collar? That's not a collar. So you have to know what a collar is, right? That's not a collar. So somebody answer me. Quick, ladies, you want to go?
The shoe and the uniform that isn't ironed.
You're getting there? Somebody's up there, behind.
How to tie your bow and how to tie your tail.
Who's that? Who's that? Please give her a round of applause. Come on, come out. Come. When we come into school, the first thing we all complain about is the way our bows are tied. For you to get that right, you get a gift, okay? Okay. Don't go. Now we want to do some demonstrations. Now, first of all, what I want to do with you this morning is to make sure you all know how to tie your bows. Your bows are supposed to be, can you see this? We can only find one loop. How many loops are we supposed to have? 2 loops. And number 2, it's not supposed to drop. Let me look at you. A lot of you, your bows will drop down, and that's wrong. So I want you all to get up and a good quick demonstration on how to tie your bows and to ensure you continue to tie your bows like that every day. So all of you stand up. Untie your bows. Untie your bows, everybody. Quick. And now we are going to tie those bows properly. So first of all, tie your first knot. And make sure you get right to the end of your bow, or wherever it stops. Make sure you get right to the end. Yes? Good. If yours doesn't get right to the end, your blouse is the wrong size. Okay. Have you all done that? All right, then start to do your bows. Go on, bow time. Fantastic. Beautiful. Well done. Exco, can you please come through and see how the teammates have got their toe come out? All right, anybody else? Exco, can you please quickly check their bows? I want to do this. I've got her out because I'm going to tie her bow myself. So when you finish tying your bow, you end up with 2 loops and 2 tails, right? And your bow has to be right at the end of where your shirt ends. So let's tie your bow. So Yeah, that's right. Good. Are all these bows tied now? Okay. So if I come into school, I'll be looking at your bows. And there will be no excuse why your bows are not tied properly. Okay, please have your seats. Thank you. So as you were coming in this morning, we made some observations. We looked for those of you who tied your bows properly, had your berets on properly, and your belts were tied properly. So don't forget, although we've done the bows, your belts are equally important. So we need Badmus Ajoke. Where are you? Please, when I call you, come out quickly. We've still got a lot of things to do. Tomisola Adeoye. Yusuf Moyin. Well, Yusuf Moyin. Okay, quickly. All right? Because your bows are tied and tied properly. Ayo, what's that? Awokoba, Emmanuel, and Yakub Aliyah. So these young ladies came into the chapel on time. They were all very punctual. They are neat, and their bows are tied. Thank you, girls. Keep it up. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. The panel?
Wow. Are we having fun? Are we having fun? Am I hearing no somewhere? Okay, so next on our agenda is a talk about hygiene, menstrual hygiene, COVID-19 awareness by Dr. Omobolade Obadofin. Omobolade Obadofin. Dr. Omobolade Obadofin is a consultant pathologist at the Federal Medical Center, Ebute Metta, Lagos. Previously, she worked at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, where she had her residency training. Dr. Bolade has also been trained at the Manchester Royal Infirmary, UK, and Massachusetts General Hospital, USA. I'm not hearing your clap. She has attended and presented at various international pathology conferences and has authored. Claps, please, clap. It's not easy, I tell you, it's not easy. She has also co-authored various publications in various aspects of pathology, ranging from breast cancer, skin cancer, gastrointestinal and head and neck pathology. It's not easy to do surgery on head and neck, oh. I'm sure you know. So please, can I hear your clap? Can you clap for her? Resounding claps. Dr. Bolade is passionate about women's health. Hence, she's had opportunity to speak at various women conferences and also participate in scanning programs. Please join me and welcome Dr. Omobolade Obadofin. Okay, I would like to crave your indulgence, Doctor. Our judges want to present their results. So, may I invite our judges, please, for the result. Are we ready? Are you excited? Are you afraid?
Of a topic for them, because as we know, whether we like it or not, technology and digitalization is here to stay. But what we're going to say is that we critiqued them or qualified them. The points we used were confidence, vocals, points of clarity, and quality of their arguments. And we saw that they all did very well. But individually, we're going to say that the third speaker, Ogenefedo, stand up. We believe that she did extremely well. She spoke clearly. She did not rush her speech. We could hear and understand all her points. And she was very confident. Do you agree? Clap for her now. Give her a round of applause. The second speaker, Benedicta. Where is Benedicta? She equally did well. She spoke so that we could understand what she's saying. And they both researched their points and they gave us references to what they were saying. Well done. So the runners-up are the third and fourth speakers. Thank you very much. I believe we have gifts for them. Oh yeah, come. Ogenefedo. What's your first name? Oh, what's your last name? Manufemi.
O Manufeme Ogenefego.
Emefuna Wanita.
The third and fourth speakers. The third and fourth speakers. Where you come quickly. Smartness is very important in Regan. Smartness. You're very young. Agile bones. Tell us again.
Ntiaju Chiamaka.
Bello Temitayo.
Give them a round of applause.
Please don't go. Please don't go. Please, can I have the other two? Don't block yourselves. All right, I want to congratulate you. Competitions are difficult, but for you to be here, it says a lot. Well done. I am the Vice President of Zonta International, and on behalf of Zonta International, I'd like to congratulate you, and we will have presents for you that will be given for the four for being here. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great privilege to be here this morning. I'm really excited. I came in during the debate, and I was really impressed, and this is great. Thank you for having me, Regan Hot Girls Association. And it's an honor to stand in front of these brilliant girls. A round of applause for all of you. And so when we see girls like this that are super brilliant, we know there is hope for this nation. Okay? Because girls are the future. The future is female. And most importantly, black girls are from the future. Do you get that? So we have a lot loaded on the inside of us to express. So I won't take too much of our time. Give me a minute. Okay, this is a PowerPoint presentation. I wish we can stream and for you to see. When we're able to fix that, we will pick up from where we left off. So today I'm here to speak to us on hygiene. Hygiene. Now, our world is changing. Many things are happening. And we are all sent back to the basics. There's a saying that says, cleanliness is next to godliness. So these times that we hear now have shown us that we have to go back to the basics, which is cleanliness, which is hygiene. And in medicine is not just about curing diseases. The most important part of medicine is prevention. And we say that prevention is better than cure. And the most important asset anybody has is their health. So the human body is a super machine. God is more than a genius. And scientists and medical doctors, we spend our daily lives trying to elucidate how this complex machine works. And so God made us in such a way for us to be in perfect health. Okay? It's when things go wrong that we fall ill. So how do we prevent ourselves from getting to that place or being falling ill? It starts from basic, simple things that we take for granted. Okay, so hygiene is derived from a Greek word, from the Greek goddess called Hygiene. Okay? It's a goddess of health, cleanliness, and sanitation. So when you talk about hygiene, it's how clean are you? It talks about how do you maintain your health. We are all supposed to be healthy. That is the homeostasis, the normal way things should be. And it talks about how our environment should be. Okay? So hygiene are conditions or practices that is conducive for maintaining health and preventing diseases, especially through cleanliness. What did I say is true? Cleanliness. It did not say through drugs. It didn't say through injections. It says through cleanliness. So as the saying goes, that charity begins at home, it all starts with us, with our cleanliness to maintain health. So any practice or activity that is done to keep things healthy and clean is called hygiene. Anything at all that you are doing to yourself, to your body, to your environment to maintain cleanliness and health is called hygiene. Great, we're on. Can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Next slide. Next slide. The next one. The next one. Thank you. We'll stop here. Continue from here. So, when you want to embark on anything, it's good to have the set goal, the destination. You need to set your eye on something, have role models. And when I entered and I saw the debate this morning, I know you girls are on the right track. Because you know what you are doing, you know where you're going. And I'm standing here on the shoulders of giants. And one of my mentors and teachers that got me to be invited here to speak to you, and this is one of my hobbies, is a professor of pathology. We call him Mama Pathology, Professor Adekunbi Banjo. Can you give her a round of applause? Now, she's not here, but she's an emeritus professor, and she's very brilliant, and most of all, she's motherly. And I want to acknowledge her. And so I put this up, maybe just to give us a picture that, black girls, we can be anything. I'm sure you know you can be anything, you want to be. So I'm sure you can recognize these people I put up. They are just common people that started basic like we all did. And we know where they are today. Ikonjo Weala, we know who she is today. The Director General of World Trade Organization. You know Mrs. Ibukwad Awoshika. She's all over the place. And of course, we can see the beautiful Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie and so many others that you can count. And so you won't lose focus, and we can make our lives beautiful. And it starts from basic things. So we go back to hygiene. Next slide, please. Thank you. So, hygiene, washing your hands, coughing into your elbow, regular house cleaning are all part of good hygiene. And hygiene is vital, is important, because it prevents us from getting or spreading germs or infectious diseases. And so when people become patients, people become patients is when we fall ill. And we fall ill, most common diseases in the world are infectious diseases, spreading germs. And how comes from when the normal hygiene breaks down. Next slide. Next slide. So, hygiene and COVID-19. Okay? We can go to the first one, the previous slide. The other name for COVID-19 is the SARS-CoV-2. Okay? And that is a severe acute respiratory syndrome, virus. So the official name is COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. And WHO, World Health Organization, gave it our official name February 2020. But the world, we were visited by this alien, so to say, December 2019. And that is why there's 19 behind it. So the CO stands for the corona, which is the family of the virus. The VI is the virus, and D stands for disease. So we have COVID-19. Okay? And so there's a joke in which during lockdown, people don't go to churches, and we're doing online churches. So when church resumed, the Sunday school, the teacher puts it there. Who killed Goliath? They wrote the C, and they removed the D and wrote ID at the back, omitted the first 3 letters. Then the boy, Sunday school boy, stood up and wrote COVID. COVID could kill Goliath instead of David. So that's how we got COVID into our world. And it has become part of us. We've had the first wave, we've had the second wave, and we are overcoming the third wave. And we hope that eventually If another wave does not occur, maybe we will ditch wearing the face mask soon. So it's a new virus that is linked to the SARS virus, and it's a type of virus that causes the common cold. So all the things that we've learned in this COVID are things that we have always known. That is the emphasis, are things that we've known since. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So the virus is transmitted by direct contact with respiratory droplets. So the virus lives in the respiratory tract from the nose, to the pharynx, into the lungs like that. So you don't get the virus, you don't come down with the diseases without you coming to the droplets. And the droplets will come through coughing and sneezing. And it can also come through touching surfaces contaminated by the virus. If I sneeze here, this laptop and this table will be filled with the droplets. And the virus will stay in that droplet. And the virus can survive for a few hours up to several days on any of those surfaces. So that's the reality. We need to know what we are dealing with, and that helps us to cope with it or to prevent it, even possibly to cure it. Okay? But there is a good news. Simple hygiene that we have known since can help us protect our health and everyone else. Next slide. So what are these simple things that we've known or we just take for granted? Number one, don't touch your face. Do not touch your face. When I was in medical school, one of my teachers is a professor of microbiology and, one-time vice chancellor of UNILAG now, Professor Ogushola. She had this very lovely skin. Her face is always glowing and nice. We'll just be there staring at her during lectures, half not hearing what she's teaching because we just admire her, And she's super brilliant. Really, I like brilliant girls. I like brilliant women. And so, but then she told us that you people are looking at my face, Abi. I don't touch my face. That was since 2002. She doesn't touch her face because our hands carry germs, viruses, bacteria. And our face is very vascularized. That means there are a lot of blood vessels close to the skin there. That is why if you pick on your pimple, it's going to get worse because the bacteria is going to enter into it and infect it and become worse. So these are the things we've all known. So to prevent COVID, first, number one rule, don't touch your face. It's just a habit that we form. And habits can be broken when you know what is wrong, that is not working, then you stop it, isn't it? Number two, avoid touching your eyes, your nose, your mouth. We call these places mucous membranes. What it means is that they are covered the membrane. I don't know, some of you that are doing biology, I don't know if you have gotten to cell, the structure of cell or something. The eyes, the nose, and the mouth covered by mucous membrane. The blood vessel is very close to those places. So easily things just, these germs just enter easily. Because our skin is very tough. The skin is the largest organ and is very tough. Covered by a material called keratin. So before anything will enter our skin, there has to be a cut. But in these places, there's no need to be a cut. The germs will just enter easily because they are covered by mucous membrane. So we need to ditch the habit of rubbing on our eyes, picking on our nose, and just, this habit of biting the fingernails. It's just habit that we pick. I know in old England, when they groom girls, they are princesses, there's a way you are supposed to sit down. There's a way you are supposed to walk. You don't find an English lady picking on their hair, rubbing on their eye or nose or anything like that. So, girls, we're supposed to be prim and proper. So maybe you should not think of it that I want to prevent disease. Maybe you can think of it that I just want to be prim and proper. I just want to be touche. So part of being touche is just don't keep touching your face. All right? Stop putting eye in your eye and be rubbing it. Now, if anything gets into your eye, the first thing to do is not to rub the eye. Because I said God made us complete. That mucous membrane has fluid that is washing it. Eventually, it's going to wash. Particles, those cannot enter inside the eye. It's covered by mucous membrane. So we should ditch those habits. And that's going to save us from COVID-19. The virus will enter from your hand, through your nose, through your mouth, okay, and through your eyes. All right? So when somebody sneezes beside you and you are close, it's just going to go inside straight. Nothing is stopping it. It's not like the skin that is tough. Now, say don't cough and sneeze into your hand. We know these things. We knew these things since before COVID-19. From like secondary school days, I knew when you want to cough, it's tush for you to cough into your elbow. You cough into your elbow, or you cough into a handkerchief, or you cough into a tissue. So, but COVID-19 is now reminding everybody of what is important. Okay? It's just reminding us. So, cover your mouth. Please, can we go to the next slide? Cover your mouth and nose with your elbow or tissue when coughing or sneezing. We call that respiratory hygiene. And it's something that we've known since, so we are reminding us. Respiratory hygiene. We can say the COVID is going, the COVID is going. See, our world is so disorganized now. The ecosystem is upside down. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but we don't know what is going to happen next. When we ditch this mask, I don't know what is coming next. We don't know. But we know that when we keep our lives simple and obey these simple rules for our own sakes, we'll be fine. And when you sneeze into a tissue paper, better to have a tissue paper than to have, handkerchief, because you're going to keep that. You dispose the used tissue paper. Somebody can ask me, why the elbow that we are sneezing, what is going to happen? When you sneeze into your elbow, it's not likely somebody is coming to come and shake your elbow and pick the virus. It's not likely you are going to use that elbow and rub it in somebody's mouth. You're not likely to, do you understand? So it's difficult to transfer your respiratory droplets when you sneeze into your elbow. That's why we advise to sneeze into our elbow. Next slide, please. The age of your immune system and the oxidation stress your body has gone through. So maybe that's why you are seated like this. But the adults cannot sit like that. So in fact, adults that get it, I've had bouts. Once my son, who is 3.5, once he starts sneezing and coughing like this, I just know he has brought the virus. The next day I'll be feeling somehow. I just have to do something. Okay, so young people can have the virus, and we call them carriers. Some people have it, asymptomatic carriers. So there are people that have the virus. So when you sneeze, even though you're not going to fall here, you will not end up on the ventilator. Your mom or your dad that is 50, that is 60, and they get that virus, may fall ill. So keep your distance. Maintain a distance of at least 1 meter. That's 3 feet from people that are coughing or sneezing, and people that are not coughing or sneezing. So that's what we call social distance. Social distance. I'm sure you've heard this over and over again. It's just supposed to make sure that when you sneeze, you realize that when you sneeze, your respiratory droplets cannot travel more than 1 meter to the next person. And that's why it's okay, wear the mask. So that even if it gets to it, there is something, there is a barrier that is going to fall on. And that's why we say, wash your face mask if it's reusable. So that you don't, because the virus can stay on that surface for a few hours, as I said, to a few days. Now, another thing that we've always known, every child, even babies know about washing hands. So wash your hands. And that is the best line of defense for everybody. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 to 30 seconds. That is less than a minute. Like less than half of a minute. So if there is no soap and water, then we use the hand sanitizer. Okay? Where should you wash your hand? When you blow your nose, when you sneeze into a tissue, even though you sneeze into a tissue. and you have dished it, you need to wash your hand or you sanitize. Okay? When you use the restroom, when you leave or return from home, you've gone out, you've come back. Just don't rush and go and start eating something. Wash your hands. Okay? After or before eating food, apply makeup. You want to powder your face, go and wash your hands. Because you don't know what is on it. Even apart from COVID, wash your hand. Because that may be responsible for the lot of pimples you are having. Even though the hormones are responsible for that too. And those that wear contact lens too. So we have hand sanitizer to the rescue, and that is very popular. A lot of people have made money from that too. But we should know when you want to buy hand sanitizer, make sure it has at least 60% alcohol inside. And ensure when you are using hand sanitizer, it's not just to do like this. Supposed to do it as if you are washing your hand. It should cover all surfaces of the hand to the back of the hand. And you will also do it for 20 to 30 seconds, like washing your hands, until the hands dry up, okay? That is proper using of hand sanitizer. There's a proper way of doing things. But if your hands are visibly dirty, it is dirty. You know your hand is really dirty. You've touched things. Why not wash your hands? Instead of using the shortcut, I want to use hand sanitizer. All right. So there's a picture of how to wash hands. Next slide. We can all Google that. There is a way to wash, and you can do these processes in 20 seconds. Okay? Now, menstrual hygiene. I'm going to dwell on menstrual hygiene and COVID-19. The other ones just to touch on them. So, next slide, menstrual hygiene, adolescents. So, all the girls here fall within the age group called adolescents. Okay? It's between age 10 to 19. And the first menstrual period is called menarche. Okay? That is when you are the first menstrual. So, you need to know that. Because all your life, whenever you get to the hospital for anything at all, they're going to ask you when was your menarche. So you need to know the age in which you had your first menstrual period. Okay? So you need to know the age where you attain menarche. And the menstruation is regulated by hormones. So when it is time, God has made the hormones, the estrogen and the progesterone, okay, and the luteinizing hormone, so build it up. That's why you have secondary sexual characteristics. The burden of the breast, the hair in the armpit and the pubic region is telling you that it's coming. And when it has finally come, there is a proper way to do things so that you do not fall ill, so that it's easy. Because this is what we are going to be doing for a long time. Until you are, some people is age 50 or early 50s or late 50s. Some people do it to 60 years. So you're going to do it for a long time. So you have to find a way to do it properly and in a way that will prevent diseases. There is nothing to be ashamed of in your menstruation. It is what you do every month. So you need to know how to do it and keep yourself healthy. Why do we even menstruate at all? You release the hormone, builds up the uterus to carry a baby. And so during your menstruation, what happens is that the layer, the store, the food the uterus has prepared, okay, for the baby, when the baby doesn't come, it sheds off. It removes it, and it contains mostly blood, and some tissues. And it comes out. That's 2/3 of the uterine lining for like 3 to 5 days. And those are the days we call day 1. For 2 years, it will be irregular. You may see it this month, you may not see it. The next month can be 35 days of your cycle. It can be 28 days next month. But the regular cycle is 28 days. So eventually it will become regularized. Let's go to the next slide. And so hygienic practices during menstruation can prevent women and girls from infection of the reproductive tract and the urinary tracts. So let's look at this picture very well. This picture is showing us 3 orifices there. I wish I had a pointer. The small hole on top is called the urethra. urethra. That is where urine comes out. The second opening you can see that is kind of bigger is the vagina. That's where the menstrual blood comes out. And the third opening that is right down there is the anus. So these three orifices, they are close together. That means during your menstruation, you can actually carry infection, transfer infection from your anus, either into your vagina, and that will go, there's a picture on the very top, that will go from the vagina to your cervix, to your uterus, to your fallopian tube, and cause what we call pelvic inflammatory diseases. That can lead to infertility eventually. So you need to take your menstrual period serious. And we have another picture under that, on the right. That is showing us the urinary tract, urinary tract organ. So from that, if feces come in contact, or the menstrual blood is there for a long time and bacteria acts on it, it can transfer from the urethra to your bladder, to the ureter, and get to the kidney. And person will have a kidney problem. So you need to really take care of it. And eventually, if you don't have a good respiratory hygiene, you can have body odor. Okay, next slide. So I'm sure you are familiar with all the sanitary towel. Just make sure you choose a method that is easy and can keep you clean and dry. Next slide, please. Clean and dry. You don't want to be forgetting. Most people, I'm sure you use menstrual pad. Call it sanitary towel at this age. Tampons are for, by the time you get married, then be able to insert a tampon. But that is when you actually be aware of tampons. Now, next slide. For the sanitary towel, let's talk about bad menstrual hygiene practices. Using unclean sanitary napkins. I'm sure that would be in olden days or really in the rural area. Some people just use cloth, a piece of cloth. They will call it rag. So when calling it rag doesn't mean it has to be a rag on the floor. It means a proper cloth that is washed and clean that they use. But if you're not using that, which is fine, if you're using cloth, make sure it's washed, it's dry, and sun actually concentrates on it. But the sanitary towel must be clean. It's not something that you can just throw inside your wardrobe and is rolling with your clothes, because it's going to come in contact with very sensitive areas of your body. You don't want to bring germs even there. Even though germs on your skin are still going to react with the blood on that pad. Now, wearing one pad for too long is a very gross, gross menstrual practices. You cannot wear your pad for more than 4 to 6 hours. So when you're on your period, make sure you have a small bag or small purse in your bag that contains an extra pad and an extra pants. You will know that before school ends, you're going to go and change your pad. Okay? Don't say it's not even soaked at all. What is important is the number of hours that blood is staying on that pad. And bacteria will react with it. And the bacteria will travel up into your reproductive tract. You don't want that to happen. Now, wiping from or washing from back to front is a very dangerous habit. And I will come down to the basis. When you go to use the toilet to defecate, pardon my language, to poo-poo, do not clean from the back to the front. I've shown you that picture. If you have that habit, correct it now. Always clean from the front backwards. Clean backwards. If you go to urinate, just make sure you just dab your perineum in front. Don't try to start it from the back. There is always bacteria, loads of bacteria in the anus. They're just sitting there. Don't bring them forward. Always clean from the back, from the front to the back. Okay? Now, on self-disposal of your sanitary napkin, we are talking about blood here. So there's nothing so disgusting about it. We are supposed to know that because it affects girls a lot. They feel like they are dirty. Some religions, some culture actually feel that girls and women are dirty, which is wrong. We need to correct that. So you don't lose your self-confidence during that. But you should dispose your menstrual pad properly. You don't just remove the tissue paper or the pad and just throw it anywhere. Number one, do not throw it into the toilet, into the water system. It is very wrong. You can't do that. because it will not decay on time. I know it's disgusting when the toilet gets clogged and they call the plumber, they open the chamber and they find all your pad there. They won't go into the soak away. They will stay inside the chamber. So always make sure when you remove your pad, you use sanitary towel. It comes wrapped up in a small nylon before they put it inside the bag. So when you are trying to use your pad, keep that nylon and the tape. Let it be kept. You need to be organized as a girl. Girls are supposed to be very organized. So when you are removing the pad, you are taking the nylon back and wrapping it there and putting it in a dustbin. You don't want another person handling your blood. All these dustbin men carrying the blood that can contain a lot of infection, you don't want to do that. And not washing your hands. Again, you have to wash your hands. You change your sanitary shower, you wash your hands. And because that can transfer infection. Unprotected sex during menstrual period, I'm sure that has nothing to do with us. So the tips, change your sanitary napkin every 4 to 6 hours. Have your bath regularly. Regularly. I'm sure everybody here should be having their bath twice a day on a normal day. On your menstrual, on your menstrual period, try and do it more frequently, at least do it that 2 times. When you go back, when you go to school, you come back, the first thing to do is to bath, because the blood that sits there, after some time will start smelling. You don't want to start smelling. Wash yourself properly from front to the back. Use the right washing technique. Do not use soap and vagina. Now, this is very important. You have no business poking into your vagina to wash anything out. The vagina is a clean place. God made it clean. God put some bacteria there called lactobacilli. They produce acid. So keep the vagina clean. So it is none of your business to dip your hand or your finger or something that you want to clean it out. Do not do that. When you do that, you wash out the good bacteria. And you allow fungal and the bad bacteria that causes, sexually transmitted infection to reside there. Do not do that. And discard your sanitary towel properly. Okay, menstrual pain, because menstruation can be very, and have running water and proper dustbin for these things to be discarded. So during menstruation, menstrual pain is going to part of the hormones that causes pain. Menstruation is like preparing you for labor. The hormone that causes pain during labor is one that is causing pain during your menstrual period. So you need to be psychologically prepared for that. That's why you should keep track. So when your period is coming, you should know how you feel. Some people feel pain in their lower abdomen. When you start feeling that pain small, you should go and get ready. Go and take paracetamol. Have it handy. And that is when you should know that you should have your pad with you. It's at home. You have some inside your school bag. So that it's not in school. Somebody will be telling you, see, your dress is stained. You don't want that kind of embarrassment. It's not that you will be stained in church. But you know that for the last 2 days, your under tummy is paining you. Or some people can feel pain even in their perineum. Very funny pain. Some can feel some pain and tenderness in their breasts when their period is coming. All those is sensing you that your period is coming. Okay? And have painkillers. And the ones you can have is paracetamol. And after that, if it's not working, then go and see your doctor. They can prescribe stronger one for you. Pain is different for different people. There's a different way anybody handles pain. So paracetamol may not work for you. In my own time when I was starting, it doesn't work for me. I have to take another drug, okay? But I always know when it's coming. I will be feeling and I will have it ready. So once it starts like this, I'm ready for it. Because you can't say you failed that test because you were on. You can't say you did not go to school that day because you were on. Or you cannot come for this kind of debate because it was my period. It's what's going to be part of your life, and you should know how to cope with it very well. All right? So plan ahead for your menses. Keep track. Write the dates down. Eventually, it will become regular. Not for anything, no. Don't start thinking of, I'm not teaching you safe period. Not for anything. Just so that you do not embarrass yourself. So that you can say, he comes every 28 days. Or he comes every 30 days. Oh, it will soon come. Mommy, please, I want to buy my pad. Once you are doing this period, you should have the pad ready for the next one. Because you don't want surprises. And this will build you as a woman to plan and to arrange yourself. Stock up on your necessities. Stash sanitary towel everywhere. In your church bag, in your school bag, at home. You are going for a weekend. You are going for a wedding or for your cousin somewhere. Let pad be around. You don't go there and they start looking for everything for you. All right? And watch what you eat. Some people, they bleed more when they take Coke during their period or when they drink tea. Know what affects you, what makes you bleed more, or what makes you feel more pain. Drink a lot of water. Reduce your stress at that time. Okay? So I will round up here. I wrote some things about body odor, about smelly feet, but the basic thing is washing, is bathing regularly. Bathe regularly. Wash your armpits, wash your under. Always be clean. Hygiene will prevent us from diseases, from falling ill, and most importantly, it will boost our ego, boost our confidence, and make us the kind of woman or women that we want to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. We are grateful. Thank you, Ma. We're really happy you did that. And it's very important to ladies to keep their hygiene. Ma, we're going to be asking you like 4 questions. I have a particular one about body odor. I don't know, you didn't speak about that. Why do some people have body odors? And why other girls don't have during their period? And then, how...
The next time you see another one, is another day one. You will now count from that day one to the day before this new one. You will now know, it's 30 days. It's 32 days. Hey, my own is 26, so. But don't worry, if you are sitting in GS1, GS2, GS3, you'll be 30 today, 26 tomorrow, 35, you know. But how you should know is how you feel. There's no way you won't feel something. Either way you are wiggling, it will be paining you somehow. Or that will be either pain or discomfort. You will feel something, okay? Just know how you feel. Everybody is different. You are unique. You need to find out what happens to you. Some people's breast, they will say maybe their breast feels bigger. Or when they just touch it, you know, you don't even feel that your breast is there, but suddenly somebody just hits you and you feel pain. It may be your premenstrual, sign, okay? Now, what is the main cause of menstrual pain? I've told you. The hormone is called prostaglandin. It is released to cause pain. Any pain in the body is prostaglandin. For the uterus, that's what makes the uterus contract. The uterus will contract, but it's the prostaglandin that makes us feel pain. So all these menstrual things I told you, that is our cross, is the prostaglandin that causes it. So have paracetamol to start with. And I'm saying that because it's over the counter. But you know you cannot take more than 2 at a time. And you cannot take more than 3 times in a day. So you go and buy paracetamol. I did not say paracetamol extra. Paracetamol. Just keep the sachet to when it's coming. You take it. If you not say for the last 2 months, I will still be paining me and I will be rolling. Go and see your doctor. There's something stronger, but you cannot buy that for yourself. Why do women fall sick after their menstrual period? They can fall sick before or during or after. People are different. But psychology plays a lot of things. If I'm having bad menstrual pains, what they will give you, they will tell you what will work for you, okay? Ma, is it true about some people, even if they are pregnant, they see their menstrual period? That's not true. That's not science. Once the baby is there will be no bleeding. Unless there are other conditions. The placenta is not staying properly, or the placenta is pulling out, which is dangerous for the baby and the mother. So once you are on, you are pregnant, you cannot be on. Can I use that word? Do you start counting your period from the day you start or when you stop? From the day you start. That's when you start counting it. Ma, please, if your discharge is yellow and you are not having any itching in the vagina and you are unsure to wash clean, is it vaginal infection? What should we do? Now, I know girls, our lives are very sensitive, okay? So I grew up being close to female doctors, you know, and you are very confident girls. So you cannot enter any health center and say, I want to see the doctor. And you can actually say, I want to see a female doctor. And anybody saying that you are adolescent will grant you that request, okay? Now, vaginal discharge is another thing women have. Everybody has discharge. It flows, and that is the way God made it. That cycle, after the blood, there is another kind of discharge that will flow. When you are ovulating, you are releasing your egg. The discharge changes to something else. When you are finished ovulating and they are building up, lining up the uterus, there's another type of discharge. You need to first of all know how the discharge is. But it's becoming smelly, it is sticky, it's yellowish, it's brownish, something is wrong. Either itching or not itching, something is wrong. And if you have the habit of, they say, wash inside your vagina, don't do that anymore. Don't kill the normal flora inside your vagina. God put it there to protect you. Don't wash inside your vagina. You have any complaint you don't know, go and see a doctor. Ma, please, if your discharge is yellow and you are not, okay, I've done that. If your vagina itches without discharge, what does it mean? It can mean anything. Okay, sometimes your hair is just itching you too. Abi? You just don't know where it's itching you. Sometimes your leg will just itch you to itch and go. So how long is this itching? Is it continuous? Is it worrisome? If it's continuous, it's worrisome. Then go and see a doctor. All right? I did not say go and see a chemist, though. Now you go and see a chemist. They will give you triple action, steroid and something. The itching will go, but something else will come. All right? Go and see a doctor. Well, let the thing become worrisome. Just see, our body is always at war with foreign things. This skin is powerful, laden by different bacteria that is protecting us. So there is what we call autoimmunity, hypersensitivity reaction. The cells in your body fight infection. So you can be itchy at times, it can be anything, but don't worry. The body has a way of taking care of itself. Just do your own part. All right? Some people use one pad a day. Is this necessary? How do you insert the tampon? Now that tampon, I can't teach you here. You can watch it on YouTube. But really, I won't be teaching your age how to use tampon. All right? You're supposed to be virgins. Okay, unless I'm old school. If the tampons for your age will be extremely small because you don't want to tear your hymen by yourself. That's why women really don't use tampons unless they become sexually active because the hole is very small. Some people, it's not a single hole that they have. It's kind of perforated. You really don't know where to insert it. So it's safer to use the sanitary towel, but don't use one a day, please. I know things are hard. We are all in this country together. Don't use one a day. The longer the blood stays on that pad and is in contact with those 3 orifices, the longer the bacteria they will act on them. And bacteria, they multiply rapidly in billions. That's why this virus is very terrible, because it just multiplies. They're in billions. You can't count them. And they cause a lot of problems. Ma, is it normal to menstruate for 2 days? Yes, it's normal at your age. Soon it will be more days. Don't worry, you are just starting. Ma, what if you don't have any menstrual pain during period? Fantastic, you are blessed. That's great. Congratulations. Okay? Maybe it's you people that kind of person that when it's time to deliver, they will not even cry too much. But don't worry, you will cry. Washing of pad, is it hygienic? Lie. You cannot wash the pad. Okay? You need to throw it away. You can't reuse it. Please don't do that. So, this is where, okay, so I have a 12 to 13-year-old girl, and I've been telling her, make your demand. But my 10-year-old can negotiate. He has a way of collecting things from me. He has a way of just swagger and say, Mommy, you know, and you will agree, you will give him. Well, my daughter will just be feeling for me, I don't know. Maybe. I said the worst thing that can happen is a no. Let your mom be your best friend. I did not say your uncle, oh. And I did not say your daddy. And I'm saying that emphatically. Wash our vagina. Capital, no. Just your vulva. I'm talking about vulva. Okay? Vulva is our open space. Just wash it like that. Don't dip your hand anywhere. All right? Why is it an embarrassment if you get stained in public? Funny enough, it's because we are here. There is an embarrassment. So the Oyimbos, they don't really mind. They'll be very nice. Sorry. And they will get something. Yeah, hey, see her. And all of that. You really don't want that. But you really don't want to get stained in public. Really. Do you? Do you want to get stained in public? And you are going with your fine dress and there is a patch there. All right? But you know, in these days, instead of somebody giving you wrapper or giving you cardigan, what did they do nowadays? They take picture, Abi, and video, which is really terrible. Why do most people have their period 2 times in a month? It's actually not 2 times. It can be every 20 days. And you appear as if it's 22 times. Maybe on the 1st, and you see another one on the 21st. That's what happens. It's not, so your period month calendar is different from your calendar. So why do people have body odor? We're all different, okay? But what is common to all of us is that we all sweat. We sweat. And so the sweat reacts with bacteria in our armpits and in our perineum. We have sweat gland all over our skin. But the sweat gland in our armpits and in our groin, they are bigger. They are special. We call them apocrine sweat gland. It's different from the normal one that is acrine. So we sweat a lot in those places. And because of the hormone that you have now, your hormone is very high at this time, the estrogen. They make you produce more, you sweat more, and there's some odor. But don't worry, it will pass. Just make sure you bathe regularly. Wash your armpits, use deodorant. Don't use antiperspirant. Antiperspirant prevents you from sweating. You don't want to stop sweating. God made it possible for you to sweat. It's to control your body temperature. So don't use an antiperspirant that will prevent you from sweating. It will disrupt your system. All right? Just use deodorant, reduce the odor, bath regularly. You'll be fine. Thank you.
Wow. Can we give a standing ovation to Dr. Obadofi? Can we all be upstanding? Wow, this is explosive. Oh yeah, can we have a sounding ovation? Can we clap? Can we give her a round of applause? A round of applause. Thank you so very much, Doctor. Thank you very much. That was a lot. And I just want to say here that, well, somebody asked a question about getting stained. We all know you are a woman. So getting stained is not a shame. Okay? Don't feel ashamed, but you have to do what you have to do. Do the right thing at the right time. You should have an idea of when your period is coming. But somehow, if you get stained, it's okay. Thank you very much. On that note, I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Yes, it's going to be very brief. We're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about hygiene. And, we're going to be talking about etiquette. What? Does anybody want to tell me something? Okay, we're going to be talking about etiquette. Our next speaker is Reganite Foluke Ayuba. Reganite Foluke Ayuba is a member of ROGA. She is a 94 set Reganite. She graduated from Castle Newman University in 1979. She holds a Master's of Science degree in Communication from West Virginia University, and a master's. I can't hear you clapping. I cannot hear you clapping. I can't hear you clapping. She also holds a master's in business administration from University of Central Oklahoma. She has worked in the events and advertising marketing industry for over 25 years. Can I get a clap for that? So now she is the Directorate of Parents and Corporate Affairs at Bowen University. Iwo, please join me and welcome Reganite Foluke Ayuba.
Thank you, Madam. Good afternoon, ladies. Thank you for having me. As you have heard, my name is Foluke Ayuba. I want to make a